John Dramani Mahama waje ne reply. Now waje ne reply ni konyong. There's no truth in whatever he said. He had to. Na abasam na waka. Na abasam na waka. Because right now it is even too late there. There. A sugar coat west. Right now it's too late. Ghanaians know the truth now. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will to know why the flag bearer. But since when you look back in the years, I actually some of Kenya. Hey. It doesn't matter whatever it will be. Mobe Sibiano we see. But I am here there. They no paying asset to them as being the president, campaigning, and you have to neglect the very things that are there, your policies, your aims, your objectives. The genuine eyes of two, and the aim your opponent. Neka can some and yampian quoting. What for me alpha? A bottom of from a Kosika. Schedule on what dirty. Schedule. Now there's been one very interesting news here. It is resurfacing into our public or social media space. Now I'm saying there, John Dramani Mahama, former president, no Fiifi Kwetey, first no deputy finance minister. Now I'm saying that one from the new Democratic Congress, the National Democratic Congress. That one part in the baby I'm a new, but I'm there. The NPP is the only party or the new patriotic party. Now NDC. That man paying for you, kaka can say me be there. Or Muslims, category of persons be much Muslims will never be able to become president in our country. Now you remember that man some na mostly know a lot of tribal politics. It comes into play because how there back there this category of persons Muslims. I mean this category of people will be Christians. Now tell the Christians who are Muslims or also Muslims just because of the fact that achieve a political aim. Now imagine that a fanti, you come from all the central region and you are a fanti. Na kokoduo na wasamaka no ebi epeda woto abana wodze ma na woso no yitum no ebeda oye nyankopon ma waakire wo mu no as a political politician no ebo mazna ne tum ne eye whatever it is due to the people over there no na ekọ no wo campaign no tum no anka ma ebe ya ma ho no. Nemom na kada wo opponent no, you told the people there, one kasa wo opponent na you want elections no, they should not vote for them because of the fact there. So that what would you want madam opponent no ba? That this particular central region people no will not have peace. Imagine how that one will look like. Look at the like how so bad it will look like. Now John Dramani Mahama, former president, is on record to have said there, said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, just like there. Time immemorial, Vice President Aliu Mahama. They went to the 1 year flag bearer Nintino. Former President John Dramani Mahama kind just some years back there. And yes, the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia saw the flag bearer for the new patriotic party, but in there, what happened? And Abasum no see. Imagine, look at now the surprises that you are even having yourself. Into normal, ebini wopa Ghana fu bini words no. Ghana for being word is there. It looks like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It is true there. He's much more feared by John Dramani Mahama than any of the contenders. Or be it Kena Kompeko Japan, near Denemo, another Dr. Wusuafi. Or there, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is much more feared. Because come to think of it, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia comes from the north. And John Dramani Mahama, former president, also comes from the north. And the vice president comes from the north. Former president also comes from the north. Then it means there. It will be a clash of the titans, as said by Aloto Jacobs, the educated farmer. Imagine these two people coming from the same place, the same area of location, the same area one now not in the original for presidential elections. Obama, the northern side, Abano Obapewa, the northern side. Take it or leave it. The Ashanti region will be match vote babum for the NPP. Volta region match vote be babum for the NDC. No other places been at it. But Obia, every political party in time immemorial all around the world, no, they have their strongholds. But say Eko Kenya Kunyebi, as a former president, John Dramani Mahama, Fiifi Kwetey Kanahu, the deputy finance minister back in the years. Na say 2 million dama kwenye. Na intumu and count political policies. O campaign anye ye na kokoto ayampia against obia oye Muslim nya sebe ne vice president holds in pokra no etumi ho da oye so humble to the core there that man you pay on pekasa just because of the on pede oba can be build it here na be wa tout na kasa na political career ni no ekokejina platform na eka all man against him in the she in some John Dramani Mahama okay tie no in the all Muslims are now fighting him back. All Muslims are fighting against the National Democratic Congress just because of the fact that in summer Daman Fiifi Kwetey and back in the years now yo the Bakadam as for being home now them pede dugu n'enyim ase there on the there chede waka presidency no pose chede ohun poko odopa ho. Imagine how it will feel like. Nanso yipa no wankasa Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wankasa. He never spoke a word. He never spoke a word. But today, in some John Dramani Mahama King, in some Fiifi Kwetey King, that man some na what you play back to them. What you play back to them. Me, I you know, for my own opinion, those people who are playing back some of these things, they are trying to hit back at the NDC just because of the fact that in some of our Kano, it was not true then, and it can never be true now, and it will never be true in the future. Muslims have an equal share in the national cake. Christians have an equal share in the national cake. Traditionalists the same. Obia ye the same. Yankopon oboye nyina. Oboye nyina pe. Inensa 5 when you 2 the me oboye nyina pe. But no obinya kunya sinibi or normal. No obinya bibi osinibi or normal. Obi kra was sikasinobi or normal. In the ebe president or normal or chinobi subaba or normal. But already say John Dramani Mahama time or president no. Ni we feel him or kasema brodo. But today no, it is being played back to him. Now, all Muslims are kind of like angry about this kind of tribal politics, especially Muslims from the NPP, and also some people from the northern part of Ghana. Into Mesima, Yamano Mesima Wakono, Wama Wire there, Bibi Kakran and Neminati, but all the same, no Yanka Wamanadam, but and somehow on Fiifi Kwetey, Utia the very core of Ghana Nankasano, the politics. Now, Paul and Domachi the expose. Now, some of Wakaka wako back into the times. Daman Fiifi kaka daman semina. Na wankasa ebeti, na wankasa imude sana daman Fiifi wanyade. And they never helped Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and they just wanted to make sure that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would never become the vice president. They will not even never also become the flag bearer. He will never become the flag bearer. That is what they were thinking. And that was what they wanted to succeed in making sure that matter would never came into fruition. But today, no, Yankopon wepe janenso. And the America say, and the Yankopon wepe janensa. So I don't know, say, also who the cap fits, let them wear it. And the Akonya no wabaton nado, honor Yankopon weighing. There, honor the Yansemono, Osha, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, asat now, no but will lead Oya Osunuko Koko party, the MPP party. Into John Dramani Mahama and some came before no. Or the tier or vice president. The vice president one cash in the share. No man can get here some Paula Domacho as a king. No one can about shock. Like a video name man.
Now, this was the plan in 2008. This again turned out to be the plan as President Mahama spoke in this video where he talked about Dr. Bawumia being Muslim and all of that. And that the MPP is going to, as usual, snub the Muslim. The MPP is going to snub the Northerner. The MPP is going to snub the Mampusi man. The MPP is going to snub the Dagomba man. The MPP is going to snub the Gonja man. The MPP is going to snub the Kusasi man. The MPP is going to snub the Boku man. Everybody from the North, the NDC is hoping that the MPP will snub them so that they will use that sentiment to generate support for their candidate. Not this time round. Listen to President John Dramani Mahama.
Sad when I see some of our northern brothers running around and also doing this. They will use you and dump you. I want to live to see the day. You let anything happen today and let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president in MPP. They will never give it to him. I can assure you. When the misfortune hit us and our father Professor Mills passed away, the Constitution said that the vice president should take over. I did. But then we're close to an election. If it was another party, they would have insisted that there should be a Congress. And in that Congress, I would have been contested. And they would have given the leadership to somebody else. But when it happened, the NDC's National Executive Committee called a meeting and said, no, there will be no Congress. We are passing a resolution. John Mahama is the vice president. We are going to support him to lead us into this election. And we went into the election, and God gave victory to us. And so I'm proud to be a member of the NDC because I know it is a party that opens opportunities for all people of Ghana, irrespective of your ethnic affiliation or your religious affiliation.
So you heard that. So it appears that for the National Democratic Congress, and we say a lot about it in our documentary that's coming. Please don't go away. The documentary is amazing. It tells you the whole story. You have to wait for it. I beg you, please wait for it. We just have a few difficult, because we want to get it right. We want to correct everything. We are checking all the facts before we show it to you, as we normally do. Sometimes these things take time. It's painful to us when we are not able to finish and put it out. Yeah, but we have to take our time. It's very, very important. Okay, so now let's get what the Islamic cleric said about this matter. So you get the NDC's point. MPP doesn't respect Northerners. MPP doesn't deal with minority tribes. MPP is only Akan. MPP is only Ashanti. MPP is only Achim. MPP is only Western region. MPP is only Koforidia and Kumasi and Mampo and Pankrono and all of that. MPP is not Mamprusi. MPP is not Kusasi. MPP is not Bole. MPP is not Dambai. MPP is not Salaga. MPP doesn't like those people. We like those people. Vote for us today. Something has changed, hasn't it? Okay. So an Islamic scholar and cleric, Sheikh M. Awal Larry, has described as disrespectful comments purportedly made by Deputy Finance Minister Fiifi Kwetey about Muslims at the presidency. Recently leaked U.S. diplomatic cables published by the international whistleblower website WikiLeaks quoted the Deputy Minister of Finance as saying that a Muslim can never become president in Ghana. A Muslim can never become president of Ghana. But why should there be a category of Ghanaians that by virtue of their religion, they can never become president of Ghana, or they can never become something in Ghana? The reason why somebody can become president of Ghana or not, as is with every country, is by citizenship. In America, if you are not an original citizenship born in America, you cannot be president of America. So you may call that discriminatory, but those are the rules of every country because they want loyalty to the state. So it must be citizenship. Fiifi Kwetey adds another category, not just citizenship. He says that a Muslim. So a child is born, if I have friends who are Muslims, at my age they are Muslims. My children are not Muslims, but their children are Muslims. And my children are not Christians because they decided to be Christian. They were born into Christianity. I was born into Christianity. I was serving Mass at age 8. Is it my fault that I'm serving? So somebody comes and says that no Catholic can be president of Ghana. Whoa. And this comment was made, and the Peace Council and all of those people didn't say anything. Maybe that was 2008. But it shouldn't be the thought of a political party, and that's very dangerous. It's so dangerous. I like to play President Mahama's tape again, and I'll tell you what. You see that you can't find a video of the tape. This tape has been going around. You can hear the sound because these are not campaigns that they put on TV. Why should I go to Ghana people when I'm campaigning for a presidential position and I'm Ghana and somebody else is fancy, and I go to Ghana people and I tell them that this other party, they don't like you Ghans? Is that the reason how somebody becomes president? Is that a campaign I should wage to become president? To tell people, this is a smear campaign. I mean, the boys can do that, but the presidential candidate should. And we're going to check in this election and be sure that people are not doing that. And if they do that, we'll name them and we will shame them. Why will a presidential candidate go to Northerners and say, the opponent party, they don't like you Northerners, they hate you people. That is who they are. They will never vote for, they will never put you there. Look at what he said. President Mahama said that when Professor Mills died, because it's NDC, they allowed me to obey the constitution and they made me the leader. If it's MPP, they won't do it. He's not campaigning to say that these are my policies. I am better on education. I'm better on health. I'm better on transportation. I'm better on energy. I'm better on technology. He's not saying any of those things. He's doing a smear campaign. And he's saying that if you are a Northerner, these people don't like you. Nothing to do with policy. I thought the campaigns of this nature had stopped in 1951. But here is President John Dramani Mahama speaking in 2020 at the time that he had held the office of president before, he had held the office of vice president before, he had the responsibility to unite Ghanaians with his campaign because he has been president of Ghana before. But no, he goes to his people and says that, listen, this party, not that I'm better than them, Not that I can do policy better than them. Not that I can bring your children out of poverty with the policies I have better than them. No, he's not telling them that. He's telling them something else. He's telling them that this party don't like Northerners. Don't vote for them. Don't ever vote. They don't like you at all. If I was in their party, I'll never be president. Today, how is President Mahama going to respond to that? I think this is a smear campaign that we must use this as an example to tell people that this cannot be the way a presidential candidate campaigns. Listen to President Mahama again.
Sometimes I feel sad when I see some of our northern brothers running around and also doing this. They will use you and dump you. Ezu, I want to live to see the day. You let anything happen today, and let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president in NPP. They will never give it to him. I can assure you. When the misfortune hit us, and our father, Professor Mills, passed away, the Constitution said that the Vice President should take over. I did. But then we're close to an election. If it was another party, they would have insisted that there should be a Congress. And in that Congress, I would have been contested. And they would have given the leadership to somebody else. But when it happened, the NDC's National Executive Committee called a meeting and said, no, there will be no Congress. We are passing a resolution. John Mahama is the Vice President. We are going to support him to lead us into this election. And we went into the election, and God gave victory to us. And so I'm proud to be a member of the NDC because I know it is a party that opens opportunities for all people of Ghana, irrespective of your ethnic affiliation or your religious affiliation.
All right, welcome back. So that's President Mahama speaking over there. All right, we'll leave it here because we will have a lot more to say when we show you what we have put together. So the Islamic scholar, so he alleged comments have drawn serious criticisms from sections of the Muslim community against Fiifi Kwetey. It goes on to say that with the latest criticism coming from Sheikh Larry, according to Muslim cleric, Mr. Kwetey's comments are an indication of the ruling party's discrimination against the country. Speaking on multi-TV's political talk show, Minority Caucus, the Islamic scholar said his investigations have revealed that Mr. Kwetey is even not a Christian because if he is a Christian, he will respect Islam. He is not a godly man. He is a traditionalist. I don't know about that for Fiifi Kwetey, that he's not a godly man or that he's a traditionalist. I'm not sure. I think I remember him being a Christian. I don't know what this guy is saying, but I don't know the latest in his life. Okay. He also accused Mr. Kwetey of arrogance and disrespect for Muslim community in Ghana and warned that Fiifi has no right to mention Islam in anything. According to the Sheikh, the ruling NDC is formed under Antoine Nyama, is that what he said? And all these sorts of Afrikaner religion. If Fiifi Kwetey, feels some Muslims have sold themselves to the NDC, it's not all of us, he said, unquote. He indicated that from his study of Ghana's political terrain, a Muslim is not supposed to join the NDC at all because Islam forbids certain things, unquote, which are inherent in the NDC, and adding that it will be a sin for any Muslim to associate himself or herself with the NDC because of its Afrikaner roots. That's what he said. Sheikh Awal thus warned all political parties to desist from using Muslims for their selfish gain. Haj Ismail Ibrahim, National Secretary of the NPP's Nasara Group, who was also on the show, said as a party, the NDC has always excluded Muslims from their activities. Quote, under the 4th Republican Constitution, he said, we have had 5 presidential elections, out of which NDC has won 3 and NPP has won 2. Of the 3 that the NDC had won, none of them considered a Muslim to be a running mate. And under the NPP 2 presidential elections that we have had, our running mate was a Muslim and a Northerner. So it tells you the way the NPP as a party thinks about Muslims. And putting those elections aside, what the NPP as a party did for Muslims in the country is enormous. Haj Ibrahim stressed. According to him, Zongo communities in Ghana have been neglected by the NDC government in terms of development, even though it is the Zongo communities that is the backbone of the NDC as a party. But yet, still, we don't see anything positive coming from them. Haj Ismail Ibrahim called on President Mills to ask Fiifi Kwetey to apologize to the Muslim communities for statements he made is reported to have made. Okay, so this is the situation now. So the moral of this story is what? Moral of this story is that we have now found out that some politicians go on campaign and campaign in a way that's a smear campaign. It cannot be accepted that you go to campaign and you don't talk about policy, you attack personality, and you attack people for their religion. It is so unfair and it's so painful. It's so wrong because the guy was born into it. He's born into it. He has talent. He can think. He's educated. He has people skills. He cannot be president because he's Muslim. He cannot be president because he's Hindu. He cannot be president because he's what? The British Prime Minister is Hindu. The British Prime Minister is Hindu. British Prime Minister. The Anglican Church country. The country of the Anglican Church. The Church of England country. Their Prime Minister is a Hindu. That is what 2023 brings. That's what modernity brings. That is what development brings. That's what unity of purpose brings. It will bring the Hindu to be prime minister in the Church of England's country. That's unity. That's progress. That's why they are Britain. And we want to be like Britain as Ghana. And then Fiifi Kwetey is telling us that, no. In Ghana, if you want to be president, make sure that you are not born to Muslim parents. Who decides who they are born to? Who decides that? Which child decides that I am born to Muslim parents? You can say somebody cannot become, you can say that an armed robber cannot become president of Ghana. Somebody against whom a court has found treason cannot be president of Ghana. That is why one of the best presidents that we never had, Kwame Pianim, was not president of Ghana because the court held that Kwame Pianim had committed treason. So there are exclusions to people being president of Ghana. There are clear exclusions. Criminal record, and it's in the constitution. Qualifications to be a member of parliament. They are there. You have a criminal record, you can't be, because to have a criminal record, you must have elected to commit the crime. The mens rea is in your head. The actus reus is in your hands. So you have elected to commit a crime, and that is why we isolate you. How do people elect to become Muslim? Is becoming a Muslim a commission of a crime? Fiifi Kwetey should answer that. The General Secretary of the NDC. The General Secretary of the NDC is saying that is his view, that Muslims cannot be president of Ghana. Why? Blacks cannot be president of America. Whites cannot be president of America. Hispanics cannot be president of America. No way. Once you are a citizen of Ghana, born in Ghana, as Mumuni Bawumia gave birth to Muhammadu Bawumia in Ghana. Mumuni Bawumia gave birth to Muhammadu Bawumia. Muhammadu Bawumia is a Ghanaian. So that he becomes Muslim because his father Mumuni was Muslim should be a limitation for him to ascend to the highest office of the land. That's Fiifi Kwetey's view of the matter. That's President Mahama's view of the matter. But why should it be so? In fact, President Mahama's view of the matter is that the MPP will never elect a Muslim, not Muslim, and they will elect, an NDC will do it. That's a different campaign. It's a smear campaign, but it's different. Fiifi Kwetey's one is more serious. General Secretary of the NDC says, you're a Muslim, you cannot be president of Ghana. I do not understand that. That is why today I was gratified when I saw that the clerics from Ashanti region had gone to see Dr. Bawumia to congratulate him on his resounding victory at the MPP Congress. They are Christians. They are priests of the Christian church. They are priests of Jesus Christ. They work for Jesus. And they are Christians. They are not Muslims. But they do not look at Dr. Bawumia as a Muslim. They look at him as a Ghanaian. And if he's competent, people will vote for him. If he's not competent, people will not vote for him. They vote for him because he's competent and because he's carrying a message that people like. They don't vote for him because he's a Muslim. How does one become a Muslim? He's a Muslim because he was born a Muslim. Are we going to punish people because of the way they were born? I don't understand that. Please, Fiifi Kwetey is now General Secretary of the party. Uncle Fiifi, can you come out with the party's policy on this matter? Do you still believe that a Muslim should never be president of Ghana because he's born a Muslim? You could have been born a Muslim too. I could have been born a Muslim too. If I was not born by my father and my mother, and I was born by some of the neighbors I grew up in Burma camp with, if I was, for instance, born by Major Al-Hassan or Major Suleimana, they were in Burma villas with us, I would be a Muslim. Because I will follow what I became Catholic because my father is Catholic. My father became Catholic because his father was Catholic. I became Asante Kotoko because my father is Asante Kotoko. Are you going to punish me for being born as an Asante Kotoko supporter? I don't even understand it. But this is the danger of our politics that we need to check, because Ghana is doing great. Once we can take out some of these little things, we will be great again, or we will be great like the greatest people. But when our key political leaders, nice guy like Fiifi Kwetey with a great brain. I respect Fiifi Kwetey's brain. He's a brain that you have to respect. He's a guy that has a lot of ideas. If you sit and talk to Fiifi Kwetey, he's good. But then why does he have some of these idiosyncrasies which are so wrong? So wrong that the General Secretary of the NDC has made these statements in the past. No media